Hello everyone and welcome to the next rigid body episode. In the last episode we added collision masks and collision groups, and in this episode we will change that to a collision matrix. You can think of it like in Unity, where you have this little matrix where you can check which objects or which groups should collide with each other, and we're doing the same but without having the UI. We will draw the collision matrix in the next episode. For now, we are just doing everything that it is working like this matrix, like in Unity. So we are removing the set collision mask and set collision groups. Well, actually, I think we still set the collision groups, but we will remove the set collision mask out of the rigid bodies, and we will do it in a centralized way in our simulation class. All right, then let's jump back to Visual Studio and let's see what we need to change. First, we can go to the rigid body. And here we're gonna remove the set collision mask. We don't need that here anymore. So let's remove that. Also, we can remove this method, can collide with. Actually, I'm gonna cut it out and put that into the simulation class, because we're gonna use that in the simulation class instead of the rigid body class. And then in the simulation class, in the simulation class, there we go. I'm gonna rename that again to can collide. And then we can create a new class in the collision groups.js. And in here, I'm gonna create a new const collision matrix. And in here, I'm saying collision groups dot group 0 dot id is default set to default collision. And I'm gonna do that for every other group. So till 7. I think maybe that's already 7. Let's see. Group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, and then we need one more. Group 7, there you go. All right. If you don't know what this representation means with this, well, I don't know the name of it. It's really weird. I don't know the name of these ones. I don't know the name of these ones. But anyways, this is just like a dictionary in C#, for example. Like you have in C# something like this. Collision matrix is equal to a new dictionary. This is just an example for C# now, if you don't know what that one means. This is a type of group ID and type of collision type of default collision, and this will look like this, well, like this, yeah. There are the curly braces, and then you have this one, and then there's a collision groups group 0.id with a default collision, and this will look like this, I think, in C#. Yeah, this will be probably an integer, and this one too. So I guess it's gonna look like this. All right. then that's for the collision matrix in the collision groups. Then we have to jump to the simulation class, and here I'm going to change the canCollide method now. So I'm saying, well, actually, I can change only the things in these places. I don't know the name. Well, anyways, collision matrix with the group. Right. Here we need to change that to group A and group B. And here I need to change that to group A. And I'm going to compare it with a bitwise AND with group B. That's our canCollide method. I'm copying this, and I will put that into the update method where we check everybody against every other body. Where is it? Where is that? I don't find it anymore. Right there, I think, right? Yeah, that's right, this one. All right. Here I say this dot canCollide with Richie A dot collision group and compare it with Richie B dot collision group, and that's it. All right, and then I have to add two more methods, and this is well, it's just some helper methods. These are just helper methods, which will enable the collision between groups. So this will look like this: group A and group B. Then I have the same thing, but for disabling the collision between groups. So group A and group B. And here, the first one, I'm saying collision groups, collision matrix with the group A dot ID with a bitwise and bitwise OR group B dot ID, and the same thing for the other group. So group B dot ID bitwise OR with group A dot ID. Right, and I'm gonna do a slightly different thing here. I'm gonna use well, how was it called? Let me check how is it called. Right, yeah, I'm doing here a bitwise not operation, but I need to add this character here, and now I'm inverting this this ID and saying, and yeah, well, do a bitwise AND operation, and then I'm actually remove this group from the collision matrix. All right, maybe I need to change some more things in the joins when we are creating them. So let me check that too. All right, and what we also need to do is remove the set collision mask. And I'm also setting now the names of the groups. Now I can set the names, that's quite handy. I'm just gonna make a little comment. Setting group names. And here, for example, I can say collision groups. Well, I could do that earlier too, but it will come in handy in the next episode when we're gonna display the collision matrix. So I'm gonna say Group 1 is the kinematic objects. Then group 2 and group 3. Group 2 and group 3, and group 2 will be non-kinematic rectangles, for example, and the other one will be non-kinematic circle objects. Okay. Then we set, of course, the collision groups, and then I want to disable the collision between the groups, and this is collision groups group 1 and the collision group group 2. So there will be no collision between kinematic objects and non-kinematic rectangles. And also, I'm going to copy this line. I'm disabling the collisions between group 1, between kinematic objects, and group 3, between non-kinematic circle objects. Oh yeah, and what I forgot is we didn't have the possibility to name a group. I totally forgot that. In the collision groups, we need to change some things too, right there. This will look like this now. Group 1. This is also a key value pair. The ID is 1 with a bit shift 0. And then we have the name with group 0. And this is going to look like this for now. So I will copy this one 8 times. One more, okay. I need to bit shift everything again. There we go. And then I'm going to name this one too. All right. Then I can remove that one. And now we have the possibility to name our groups. All right. And I also need to change the default collisions. I just need to add a .id to that. So let's do that too. And there we go. Now our collision groups is fully updated. Why does it look that weird? Is there an error? No, I don't think so. Okay. Right. Now when we go back to the simulation. Well, actually, we need to go to the rigid body, and here there's still the default collision. We need to change this one too to collision groups. Collision groups group 0.id. This will be our default. All right. And then I think. Yeah, I think there's still an error. 1 second. Oh yeah, and of course I made a mistake here. I need to change this one to group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, and group 7. All right, and then I still need to change something else. All right, and what I also forgot is here in the collision, in the rigid body class, I have to say, well, I don't have to, I have to say group.id and not just group. And now if we go to the browser Don't forget to save and refresh the browser. I get a small error because I made a typo. I think in the rigid body class I called it set collision group, and I'm saying in the simulation set collision groups, I guess. Right. Yeah, I changed it to set collision group, and not, well, actually no, it's right when we say set collision groups, because we can do a bitwise OR operation, and then a rigid body will be in multiple groups. So let's call this set collision groups. Yeah, I changed that here, this method, to set collision groups, and make sure that in the simulation class, this is also called set collision groups. All right, and if we now save and go back to the browser, you see our circle is colliding with the rectangle, like we specified in our code right there. Group 1 is, well, actually, it's the kinematic. Okay, yeah, right. We disable collisions between the kinematic object, the rectangle. This is this one here. This is the kinematic object between group 3. Group 3 is our non-kinematic circle object. There is no collision in between those. And then there's no collision between kinematic objects and non-kinematic rectangles. So no collision between this rectangle and this rectangle. If I, let's say I'm gonna enable collision between group 1 and group 3, that means the circle should now collide with the bigger rectangle. So let's enable that. Go back to the browser and refresh, and now you should see that the circle is now colliding with the rectangle, and it does. All right, now we have collision matrices, and in the next episode, I'm going to show you how we can actually draw a collision matrix like in Unity, for example. All right, then have a nice day and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.